And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, evermore and evermore. I love wrapping up our Christmas Eve observances with lessons and carols because we get the sweep of this story. We get to hear the different gospel writers say what they think is important about Jesus and his birth. And we get that delightful contrast between Luke and John, side by side, don't we? Luke so determined to tell us when this happened in history, though his history is a little iffy. But anyway, he's trying really hard to tell us who was in charge, where, when all this happened. And John wants us to know evermore. Sometimes we might hear someone say, well, God has a plan. Usually it's when things aren't going so well. You notice that? It's almost, but 95% of the time. It's how we make ourselves feel better when things aren't going well. We heard God's plan tonight, which was God being in a beautiful relationship with us in a world where every human being had everything they needed and everything was lovely, and God would walk with them in the cool of the evening in the garden. They were buds. You throw in the wild card of free will, right? And then let us humans do our thing. Yeah, indeed. It becomes really clear why we need saving. But what we hear in John's gospel is that all of it is held in the heart of God. It's not like God woke up one day and said, oh dear, I better do something. They've really mucked it up down there. But from the beginning, the heart of God knew that being one of us and one with us was an essential part of who God is and who we are, evermore, from the very beginning and forever. I'm not going to preach a long sermon tonight. Every one of these carols and hymns and anthems is really a sermon, right? Reflecting on these readings, reflecting on these stories in our tradition. But what I hope you'll do is not leave a single one of these bulletins in this room tonight. I hope you'll take this home, and in some quiet time in the next 12 days, because we get 12 days of Christmas, find the song that's still playing in your head and spend some time with it and invite God to speak to your heart and revel in that mystery. We get 12 glorious days of Christmas to spend aware of the love for us in the heart of God.